Today I'm going to show you mashed potatoes done two different ways. We're going to use Yukon Gold potatoes and sweet potatoes as well, and they'll be delicious. First, we're going to look at the garlic and herb mashed potatoes made with Yukon Gold awesome potatoes. Those are my favorite. They're so nice and waxy, creamy, and perfect for this recipe. Check out all the links and all the ingredients linked down below on the website. Now our potatoes are boiling in this large pot of water, and you want to boil them until they are fork tender. Now, as that is happening, we can prepare our cream, which is going to be scented with all the herbs. So you're not going to get chunks of the herb in there. It would make your potatoes too strong. That's why we're going to extract those flavors into the cream we'll use to make the mash. Just bring the cream up to a light steam, add the herbs in, and then just let that simmer very gently, barely a simmer for 5 to 10 minutes. Taste it, and if you want the flavor to be more intense, keep it going. Also, on the side, I'm going to be melting up some butter and then adding lots of chopped up garlic. And I want to make the garlic brown and crispy. That's going to add a really rich, almost nuttiness and garlickiness into the mash. And once your garlic looks a bit like this, and of course you can control how much you want to cook it, but this is perfect for what I want it to be. Set that aside, kind of keep it lukewarm if you can, because we want to add warm cream and warm butter into our warm cooked potatoes. And here they are. If you dare, just use a fork and just slowly peel away. If you really want, you can have a potato each under running cold water to make the peeling process easier. And then just filter the cream through a sieve. You can discard the herbs, so make sure to kind of squeeze it a little bit to get all the juices out. Then add in the crispy bits of garlic along with the butter and start mixing away. Now I do have the paddle attachment. You can even use the whisk attachment if you want. They're going to give you different types of textures and fluffiness. If you want, you can make this by hand, manually, or using a hand mixer as well. And as you're mixing, keep a close eye on the seasoning. And you want to keep mixing until the consistency of the potatoes are perfect to your liking. And once they are there, top up with fresh chopped chives. And the slight oniony flavors that chives add is going to go great with the garlic and, of course, everything else that we've already added in these potatoes. All you got to do now is plate it before we take a close eye at what this looks like. Let's take a look at our sweet potato mash. This video is part of a collaboration with a number of other channels. You can look up hashtag all things spud and see all the other great potato recipes coming out. And the sweet potato mash is going to be quite different, except the last part. So let's take a look at all the ingredients first. They're, again, all linked down below. And once you're ready, chop up the potatoes into smaller chunks. It's going to help them cook a bit quicker because they are much harder to cook than regular Yukon Gold potatoes. And I've also removed the skin, but you can keep it. That's something that you're into. I honestly cannot stand it in a mash. So I've diced up all these potatoes, added it to my pot over here, season it with some salt. Don't go too overboard right now. You can always add more, and you can never remove salt once you've added it. And then fill up with milk. Yeah, we're gonna do milk instead of water for these sweet potatoes. It's gonna be great. And it's gonna absorb all those potatoes, make them really nice and soft and fluffy. So you wanna mix it well and then bring this up to a light simmer. Then just cover it and let it gently cook until the milk is reduced a little bit and the potatoes are completely soft. Now as they're cooking, the milk will release some of the natural cream that it has. I am using whole milk here. When we mix it, it will all just come together. And for me, it was around this stage. Now, be sure not to put all the moisture into your mixing bowl. Preserve some for later because, again, just like salt, we can always add more moisture later to make the potatoes thinner than to remove it. And to really help get the creamy bits of the milk kind of blended in well with the creamy potatoes, I'm going to use the whisk attachment and kind of mix at a medium speed until it looks kind of like this. Now it looks basically like potatoes, and you may not be able to tell unless you look really close that there might be some milk in it, and the flavors is unparalleled. But there's nothing in it yet, so let's add some flavor. So here I'm adding some butter and then some finely chopped scallions to really complement the sweet part of the sweet potatoes. A touch of maple syrup goes in as well, and then just pluck bits of thyme and put it right in there. And as you're mixing, thin it out and make it a little creamier with some half and half or heavy cream. Just like our garlic and herb mashed potatoes, really take it by what you're smelling, what you're seeing, what you're tasting, and adjust these ingredients to really fit what you want to taste. And at the end, once it's all mixed, your sweet potato mash is gonna look so good, and it's gonna look just like this because it's perfect. And we had it with some salmon, and usually I'm not a big fan of sweet potatoes. I'm all about the white or the yellow potatoes, but this really changed me, and I was pretty surprised by how good they were. They were savory and sweet at the same time without really leaning towards either side. It was just a perfect balance. And from earlier, here is our garlic and herb mashed potatoes, looking good as ever. And while it's very unlikely that you'll have leftovers, if you do, you can use these potatoes to turn them into mashed potato samosas. Check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.